Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. We have a lot to cover, and I do mean a lot. Today, I'm going to talk about some of our favorite crypto mining companies. There are so many, and so what we're going to do is get right to it. But first, make sure you download the class. It's going to be the top link below and learn about trading in general. And also, too, I want you guys, I'm going to start a portfolio in Moomoo. Okay, so if you want to follow along with me, download the second link below. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make this one the top link, Moomoo, right? Number one, get your free stuff, right? But I'm going to start a portfolio with the Moo app, and I'm just going to have crypto mining companies in it, and we'll just have some fun with it. And this is not Get Like Me. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, but we're going to monitor some of the things that we learn on today. Right. A lot of people know about Mara and Riot. Those are the two that are mainly mentioned the most because those are two of the biggest mining companies, okay? And a lot of these mining companies have a lot of things going for them. Their hash rate, how many miners they have, and because of the size of their output and the size of their operation, a lot of times a lot of people just feel safer in them. But it's not necessarily the one that you're going to make the most money on, as we're going to see here, right? Let's get right into it. We're going to have a little fun, and you're going to see some things that's going to surprise a lot of you guys. Okay. So here's a lesson, right? Mara Digital is mining Bitcoin, and the focus is on Bitcoin. But if you look year to date, Bitcoin is up a whopping 82%, but the company that mines the Bitcoin is up 395%. So with all of crypto, my motto is I want to be in the fastest moving car. And yes, you may say, hey, these fluctuate more or less or whatever. Then I use my Mara, my Riot, my Hive, my CleanSpark to buy more Bitcoin. But in certain periods, the miners are moving much faster. Okay, this was June 2nd of 2023. Look at that. Marathon Digital mined 77% more Bitcoin in May with the help of its software. So it goes on to talk about how the software is more efficient because these miners burn a lot of gas. It takes a lot of energy. So they are doing better. Okay. In April, Marathon mined 50 Bitcoin per exahash of computing power, the least out of 14 publicly listed miners. Wow. In comparisons, during April, peer CleanSpark, you know this one, mined 78 Bitcoin. Riot had 61, and Hive blockchain produced 81 Bitcoin per exahash. Okay, so let's keep in mind that this was old. I just wanted to show you that as far as their hash. We're just going to call it hash, okay? No, furthermore, Riot has a competitive advantage over some of its peers because of its operations are based in Texas. Riot can benefit from a flexible energy grid, okay? And so that's what's going on. It can be a little complex to understand, but essentially when demand for energy is high, like it is during a heat wave, Riot can sell energy back to the grid. That's why, good people, for a higher profit than would have come out of dedicated resources to mining Bitcoin, right? So all of these things play a part, okay? So now, what I want to do right now, rather than go into each one, because the top three that most talk about is Mara, Riot, and Hut, okay? Mara being the one that has the potential to shoot up more. Riot is more stable, long term, and then Hut bringing in number three. So I've watched a few other influencers talk about these things. But let's keep our eye on what? The fastest moving car. So what we want to do, I compiled a list of most of these, and I share with you now how they look, how they performed in spite of everything we just read, because I want to tell you guys that all of these Bitcoin mining companies are not 10-year, 20-year investments. They should not ever be. There is a time to buy them and there is a time to sell them. All right, let's look at this. All right, 5 days, you see, in the last week at the time of recording this, right? I'm recording this Wednesday, all right? I'm recording this Wednesday, July 12th. So now let's look at this. Who's the top dog for the day? RIOT. In the last week, 27%. Here we go right here. CleanSpark is second, right? Look at that. Marathon is actually third. HUT is fourth. And BTBT or Bit Digital is fifth, right? But what about in the last month? It changes. Look at this. In the last month, HUT is number one, 77%. Marathon is number two with 74. RIOT is number three with 72. CleanSpark jumps to number 4, and then BTBT. The reason I'm showing you guys this because every time you talk about Mara and RIOT or HUT, everybody asks about CleanSpark. CleanSpark may be good for that day, but not for the month. Let's take it further. What about year to date? Look at this. BTBT, Bit Digital, is up year to date 496%. Whopper. And then RIOT comes in second, not Mara. RIOT is second at 423%. Mara is up 395%. These are staggering numbers for year to date. HUT is up 357% and CleanSpark is up a whopping 229. So if you had started investing in all of these at the beginning of the year, it is actually Bit Digital that would have made you the most money, then followed by RIOT and Mara. Okay, CleanSpark is actually number 5 for those of you that actually keep asking about what about CleanSpark. All right, when in doubt, zoom out. Now let's look at Hive because it only allows you to do 5 of them on there. Okay, now as we could see, Hive 10% for the week, and look at that, 83% for the month, and 264 for the year. So Hive would have been down with CleanSpark. You see that? For the year to date, right? Year to date. See that? And so that's what I wanted to point out to you guys, the importance of being in the fastest moving car. Now, the reason why I say that these are not hold rates, because these are not things that you buy and hold for 10 years because of something called the halving. These are the last 3 halving events. This is very important information for you to know, right? The first one was in November of 2012. The second one was in July of 2016. And the one we just had in 2020 was May 11th. As you could see, the block reward to the right went from 50 Bitcoin down to 25, and then 25 Bitcoin down to 12 and a half. And then the last one is 12 down to, you could see that, right? Now the fourth one, the one that is coming, all right, it is estimated to be April of 2024. Then the block reward will only be 6.5 Bitcoin down to 3.125 because that's in Satoshi's, that's written in the code. Okay. If we look at the last date of the halving, it was May 11th of 2020. All right. Remember that date, May 11th of 2020. Okay. So now let's go back here and May 11th. So that'll be 4/11. That was about right here. Okay. So about right there. As you could see, and this is Mara. I'm using a Mara for this chart. As you could see to the right, Mara was 44 cents, right? That was during the halving. The reason why I'm showing you this is because clearly you could see during the halving is the best time to accumulate. It's actually the bottom of the accumulation phase for Mara, Riot, and all of these companies, right? All of these miners. But you see what happens after that. You see that? That's printing. Look at that. All the way up to 54, 56, just like the commercial. But wait, there's more. Look at that. All the way up to $75.30, right? And so I wanted to point that out. But what you have to also realize is there's a before. And so now when we look at the before, we can start going and seeing that before the halving, there is what? A sell-off. So it went from 386 all the way down to the halving, which it was, let's say it went 386 down to 86 or 46, as you could see, right? So what I'm saying to you is there's going to be a bleed off because crypto goes up and it comes down. Bitcoin will go up and it will come down. And at some point, even if you've been DCAing like me, keeping your stop losses set, there could be another push up with all of these crypto mining companies. And then I expect for a pullback on Bitcoin, which will mean a pullback on all of these mining companies. I expect that to happen. Who knows? Okay. But at that point, you should be taking profits or selling and waiting until all of these miners cool off again and then start to accumulate all over again and have some dry powder. So when the halving does happen, then you go in heavy on these mining companies and just continue to DCA your way up. All right. And that's what's going to happen or should happen again. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing for you. I just wanted to paint an overall picture to show you that in spite of what you think is the top dog, numbers don't lie. So yes, for the last week, Riot was the big dog. But for the last month, HUT was the big dog. And for the last year to date, BTB or Bit Digital is the big dog. So let's not have tunnel vision. Let's be in the fastest moving car, or we on the fastest horse. Yeah. And let's get to the finish line quicker and make more profits. Please let me know if this video has helped you in any way. Leave me a comment if you learned anything. And most importantly, make sure you continue to share this page and join me as I open up this portfolio with Mumu. Okay, download it. Don't even worry about the free stuff. We're going to make a killing together. Okay, because I will be letting you know what my moves are going to be with all of these companies. So what I think I'm going to do short term is put about $500 a piece into each and see how they perform. Now, we could be at the top of the range. So what I think I'll do is put like $250 a piece. And then if it cools off, put a little bit more in, then I believe we will have a slight move up and then a slow sell-off, just like I showed you guys, leading up to the halving. I showed you what the date is. Rewind this. Then when the halving starts, we go back in, and that's when we really stand to make a lot of money, all right? I'm going to leave it right there. This one's going to be longer than normal because it was a lot to digest, all right? We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.